Welcome back. Special report on WDHN continues tonight. As we get back on the air, we're going to catch you up on where things are in the area, of course, power outage wise. We're going to try and look at the numbers again coming up at the top of the next hour. But for right now, we got out after the storm and went and talked with so many folks in the area about cleanup. And let's just show you this. We went around and looked at some of these generation old trees specifically really in the Dothan area where we were to begin our coverage, and this was one of my stops along the way. Hi, Ben Stanfield in Dothan again, and we're just kind of surveying the damage throughout the city right now. I want to show you the bottom of this tree here. Massive root system. Trees that have stood for generations came toppling down in literally minutes yesterday, and so this tree here, just unbelievable how big it is and how easily it came down through the winds of Hurricane Michael moving through our viewing area. Let's kind of walk around here on the side and show you just how wide this thing is. This the width of this tree alone, pretty large, pretty massive tree, and came down very, very easily during the storm. All right, so that, we did a lot of things like that on our digital platforms, and Scott, you were part of that too. Mm-hmm. The technology certainly helped our reporting. We told you what happened here with our station and our issues, and technology made it a lot easier, right?
Yeah, so if we were trying to do the same coverage, say 5-10 years ago,
yeah,
we wouldn't have been able to get the information out to you the way we are now.
Not possible at all. I'm trying to remember where we were going next. We talked about
the 911
calls. Yeah, the Houston County area led the state of Alabama in 911 calls yesterday. First responders have been very, very busy. Now think about that. That's outpacing Huntsville, Birmingham, Mobile, Montgomery, very large cities, and Dothan and Houston County outpacing them on the state level yesterday. Those numbers courtesy of EMA. Let's take a look at this piece here.
Hey guys, Sarah Drake with WDHN here, and I am with
Captain Ott
with the Dothan Police Department. So tell me how many 911 calls you guys received during Hurricane Michael.
Well, on October the 10th, during the storm, we had over 600 911 calls at the Dothan Comm Center alone. That's just for Dothan.
And can you kind of talk about what those calls were for?
Most of them were for power outages, trees down in the roadway, traffic hazards. A few were trees on houses, but most of them, the vast majority, were for power outages.
Now, I know some of the traffic lights are still out. Can you kind of talk about how those are now four-way stops and what people need to do to keep safe for those?
Yeah, as we've said before, anytime you encounter an intersection where the lights are out, you need to treat it as a four-way stop so that you stop, make the other person stop, and then proceed. The problem that we're seeing is especially on bigger roads like the Ross Clark Circle, where people think they're on a four-lane highway and they automatically have the right-of-way. Anytime someone pulls up to an intersection that may cross the Ross Clark Circle, if they don't stop, that's when bad things happen.
And then just talk about the importance of being safe while people are driving on these roads. You know, trees are still down, power lines are still down. What do people need to do to just stay safe?
Just slow down and be patient, and not only remember, that we have trees down, we still have work crews out who are trying to work, but we also have a influx of people from other areas, Florida, and evacuees from other areas who don't know where they are. They don't know where they're trying to turn to. They don't know how close they are to that turn. We also have problems with some cell phone towers are still down, so coverages are not as good with cell phones, so GPS may not be working as well on their phones. So just slow down and be patient, and just let's get through this. Things get better every day. I think we still have a little over 13,000 people in Dothan without power, but that number it'll get better every minute. And the crews are still working, and as soon as the power gets back on, that's the biggest thing to getting back to normal. As soon as power gets back on, people's lives kind of return to normal, traffic lights get back on, the quicker things will begin to get better.
Right, and we were talking earlier, you guys are actually still receiving calls from Hurricane Michael, right?
We are, yeah. We continue to receive all of the rollover calls from the utilities department when their dispatchers, their operators are busy. They roll over to our 911 center, and our dispatchers are still handling those calls. And of course, we still get a few crazy calls from time to time. So, but overall, it's getting better every day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking time to answer some of those questions.
Enjoyed it.
And you heard it here. Make sure you stay safe on the road and treat traffic lights that are out as a four-way stop. And we will be back with more.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few near misses just coming in today into the station. You have people who are treating it as a four-way stop, and then you just need that one person who thinks they can just keep going, and that's going to cause some major wrecks, and it saw some close calls with that. So that is very, very important for you to do.
Yeah, don't be that person. We're kind of lining things up as we go in this broadcast here, because what usually takes us a full day to put together, we kind of did it in an hour.
Yeah.
So let's cue up Pansy damage, and then we want to take a look at the 231 South Durden cam when we can. So as soon as we get those videos, let's get ready and go ahead and show them, and then we'll reset at the top of the 6 o'clock hour. But Scott, Pansy took a pretty rough hit. From folks I'm hearing from out there, Bodiford Road and in that area of Houston County, really just a tough shot. You see rip the steeple right off the church. So we don't have 231's Durden cam because it got knocked over.
I'm not surprised there. They're sometimes it seems like they're just up there with like one pipe and as a support, so it doesn't take much to bend them over. But
they can hang for a while, but
yeah, to a certain extent, then they're done. But heading down the road in any part in that direction away from Dothan, you are going to see more scenes like this across much of the area, especially on some of the more rural communities, like on the side roads and stuff like that. You're going to certainly see scenes like this, and going to take a bit longer for the crews to get out there to clean them up.
Yeah, that's a tough scene there. But the church, the church looks okay, to be honest with you. Otherwise, from that steeple vantage point. But the church, any church will tell you, it's about the people, not the place. So the Word of God not contained to four walls. So let's go to our Enterprise camera. There we go. This is Highway 27 North at Boll Weevil Circle. And, traffic, like we said, pretty heavy through most of the region, the north-south routes. And one thing I thought was quite fascinating, Tim Watson, who works with Hometown Lenders in Dothan, posted on his Facebook page this afternoon. He said, I was sitting at a red light in a heavy traffic. We heard emergency responders coming up behind us with their lights and sirens. It was 20 consecutive New York City Police Department vehicles.
Good to have them.
Heading to the coast. So the American spirit coming in full force to help our region of the country, and we certainly appreciate it. We'll be back. We're going to restart things in the 6 o'clock hour. We're here with you till 7. Stay with us.